But so what do you think is the strategy behind China announcing these small amounts? And by the way, there are 2/3 of the gold bought by central banks last year. We don't know where it's coming from. So there's still this mystery 2/3. We have China releasing small quantities over the months. Can you kind of link the two, or any thoughts here?
Well, I think it's really hiding in plain sight. Do what I say and not what I do. And what they're doing is accumulating. I mean, nobody really knows how much gold China has stockpiled, because that information of what they mine themselves is just not really released. So, but whoever holds the gold retains the power and the choice. And in this massive global shift in financial dominance, I think what we're really witnessing is that China wants to come out on top. And since the U.S. doesn't seem to add any gold, right? I mean, I think that's really what we're witnessing.
Yeah, but I'm boggled by that as well, right? And I'm thinking, why wouldn't China want to show, hey, we're powerful here with our gold reserves? Maybe they have more than the U.S. Who knows? Why not come out and say, hey, we own a ton of gold here, much more than we're disclosing, to show? Why? What are they waiting for?
Well, they're waiting for the opportune moment, because really the conflict between the U.S. and China has been escalating. And it's escalating right now. So I think the Chinese are extraordinarily strategic. And I don't think they like to show their hand until they are ready to actually take that position. And I don't think we're there yet. We need a huge crisis in order to justify a lot of the shift. But I think it's all strategic, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And where is that gold coming from? I mean, we're seeing massive drawdowns on the COMEX and the LBMA. We've been watching that, so maybe that's where it's coming from.
And I obviously want to get back to China for obvious reasons, but you'll see where I'm going with this. This was like a news item lower on the radar, but these are comments from the president of Belarus, Lukashenko, that I want to share with you, because he said the world will soon see new powerful monetary unions with a new reserve currency. Speaking earlier this week, he said, a new system of mutual settlements is taking shape, including in international trade. In short, time is ripe for changes. I believe that new powerful monetary unions with a new reserve currency will emerge soon. Any thoughts on this, Lynette?
Well, absolutely, because we've been watching the U.S. weaponize SWIFT, but there was a movement to create a new monetary union through the BRICS, even before it was overtly weaponized, meaning the SWIFT system, the global payment system. So, I mean, we saw it with the creation of the Shanghai Gold Exchange. We've seen it with the BRICS nations coming together. So absolutely. I mean, no currency maintains its status as the world reserve currency forever. And the U.S., has really been abusing that position in a lot of countries' opinions.
What do you think the U.S. is planning to do about it? I mean, they obviously see the rise of the BRICS. Do you think they're just sitting back thinking, impossible, no one can overtake us? Or are they concerned and carefully watching this? What's your take?
I wish I wasn't about to say what I'm about to say, but I think that I think it's a very high level of arrogance, because the U.S. dollar is still primarily used in global trade. And so I think they just can't believe that they would be knocked off their seat, or maybe what seems like a conflict is not really a conflict. It's more a handing off of the baton.
Interesting.
And we aren't going to know that.
Explain. You think they would want to hand off the baton?
Well, there is historic precedence for that. I mean, back in 69, when the SDR was created over at the IMF, the U.S. had gone and said, here, take this back. We don't want this anymore. But then Kissinger created the petrodollar. And we see that petrodollar now falling apart with Saudi Arabia saying, oh, well, we don't have to just take dollars. So, but here's the thing that I've been asking, and nobody's really going to know the answer to this. So this is just a possibility. What if the world, all the leaders, all the central bankers in the world actually know that this is the end of this current experiment and they want to transition us into the new system and retain their power? So part of what always happens during these transitions are wars. But if you look at what's been happening for really quite some time, especially since 2008, don't we seem to lurch from crisis to crisis to crisis, keeping everybody off balance?
It feels like that to me, yeah.
Exactly. So what if it's not really them versus us, but everybody, all the central bankers and the governments working together to create this transition? I know it sounds crazy.
No,
but
nothing sounds crazy anymore, Lynette.
Right.